Constefs barn requirevs. Const document, packer, paragraph, text run, alignment type, require docs. Const docker, new document, styles, default, document, run, font, Arial. Size, 24. Sections, properties. Page, margin, top, 1440, right 1440, bottom 1440, left to 1440. Children, new paragraph. Alignment, alignment type center. Spacing, after, 360 number. Children, new text run. Text, part 1. Bold, true, size, 32 number. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240. Children, new text run. Captain Jiwoo Park stood on the bridge of the UNSC Indomitable, watching the stars through the massive viewport. Her ship was the largest in the 3rd Deathworlder fleet, a name that made most alien species nervous. Humans had earned that title the hard way, fighting wars that would have destroyed softer civilizations. New paragraph, the spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The bridge was quiet during the night shift. Only a few officers monitored the sensor displays, their faces lit by the soft blue glow of their screens. Everything seemed peaceful. That changed when the communication officer sat up straight, his hand pressing against his earpiece. New paragraph, the spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Captain, we're receiving a distress signal, he said. It is coming from Velen Colony 7, 3 systems away. New paragraph, the spacing, after 240. Children, new text. Run Jiwoo moved to his station. Put it through. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The message was broken, filled with static. A Velen voice came through in pieces. Words like containment failure, biological threat, and evacuation impossible made Jiwoo's blood run cold. She had heard messages like this before during the border wars. They never ended well. New paragraph, the spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Wake Admiral Kim, she ordered. Get Commander Cho and Dr. Lee to the briefing room. This is priority 1. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text, run. 20 minutes later, the senior staff gathered around the holographic display table. The image showed Velen Colony 7, a peaceful world home to 3 million Velens. The Velens were gentle creatures, herbivores with no real military to speak of. They relied on Galactic Council protection, which meant they were basically helpless if something went wrong. New paragraph, the spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Admiral Hansol Kim studied the data with cold eyes. He was an older man, his hair gray at the temples, his face lined with the weight of difficult decisions. People called him the Ice Admiral because nothing seemed to shake him. Jiwoo had served under him for 5 years and had never seen him lose his calm. New paragraph, the spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The colony's orbital defenses are destroyed, Commander Tae Yang Cho reported. He was younger than the Admiral, but just as hard, a former special operations soldier who had seen more combat than most people could imagine. Their defense fleet is debris. Whatever hit them fast. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Dr. Hai-Jin Lee, the chief medical officer, looked worried. Biological threat could mean anything. A plague, a bioweapon, or something worse. Fire, new paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The door to the briefing room opened. A tall, slender alien walked in. Her skin was pale blue, her eyes large and dark. This was Coordinator Silrine, a council observer assigned to watch over human fleet operations. She looked at the humans with barely hidden distaste. New paragraph, the spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. I assume you will be responding to this distress call immediately, Silverine said. Her voice was melodic but cold. Standard evacuation protocols should be sufficient. At new paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text. Run. Admiral Kim gave her a long look. Whit'll respond. But I don't think this will be standard anything. New paragraph. The spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. The council expects. New paragraph. The spacing. After 2:40. Children. A new text run. The council expects us to do what council species cannot, the admiral interrupted. Which is why we're here. Now please sit down. We have work to do. New paragraph, cell spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run. Silverine's expression tightened, but she took a seat at the edge of the table. Jiwoo hid a smile. The admiral had no patience for council politics. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. We jump to hyperspace in 1 hour, Admiral Kim said. Commander Cho, prepare combat simulations. Include worst-case scenarios. Captain Park, ready the fleet for immediate action upon arrival. Dr. Lee, prepare your medical bay for Velen casualties. New paragraph, the spacing, after 2:40. Children, a new text run. Sir, what about Protocol Scorched Earth? Cho asked. New paragraph. Spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run. Silverine looked confused. Jiwoo noticed the alien's confusion and felt a cold weight in her stomach. If they were already talking about extreme protocols before they even arrived, this was going to be bad. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. Have it ready, the admiral said quietly. Hope we don't need it. New paragraph. We're spacing. After 2:40. While children, new text run. The meeting ended. Jiwoo walked back to the bridge with Commander Cho. Neither spoke for a while. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. You think it's bad? Cho finally asked. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. I think the Admiral wouldn't mention Scorched Earth protocols if he thought we were doing a simple rescue, Jiwoo replied. New paragraph. The spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. The fleet jumped to hyperspace exactly 1 hour later. The journey would take 6 hours. During that time, the crew prepared for combat. Marines loaded heavy weapons and checked their hazard suits. Pilots ran through attack patterns. Medical teams studied Velen biology. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. In the Marine Bay, Master Sergeant Hyun-woo Kang inspected his soldiers. He was a weathered veteran with scars on his face and hands, marks from a dozen different wars. His Marines respected him because he never asked them to do anything he wouldn't do himself. 2. New paragraph. The spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text, run, listen up, Kang said to his assembled troops. We're going into a hot zone. Biological contamination is possible. That means full hazard gear, no exceptions. You keep your seals tight, you follow decontamination procedures, and you do not take off your helmet for any reason. Clear. Yakarna new paragraph re-spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. Clear, Sergeant. The Marines shouted in unison. New paragraph. The spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. Lieutenant Bora Nam, one of the fleet's best pilots, sat in her cockpit running pre-flight checks. She was young and confident, maybe too confident, but she had the skills to back it up. Her co-pilot looked nervous. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text, run. First time running a hot extraction? Nam asked. The new paragraph. Spacing. We're after 2:40 Mar. Children, new text run. Her co-pilot nodded. New paragraph. The spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. Don't worry. Just keep the ship steady and trust your instruments. It'll handle the fancy flying, Nam said with a grin. New paragraph, order spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. 6 hours passed quickly. The fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Velen system. Immediately, every alarm on the bridge started screaming. New paragraph, the spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. Sensors are picking up massive debris fields, the tactical officer reported. Multiple orbital stations destroyed. The planet. Captain, you need to see this. Go. New paragraph, the spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. The main screen showed Velen Colony 7. Ji-Woo had seen pictures of this world before. It had been beautiful, with blue oceans and green continents, cities that looked like gardens. That world was gone. The planet below them was covered in dark, pulsing growth. Massive structures that looked like tumors spread across entire continents. The cities were invisible beneath the corruption. New paragraph, spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text, run. What in the void is that? Silurine whispered. A new paragraph, spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text, run. Adm. Const FS, Rasa require, FS. Const. Document, packer, paragraph, text run, alignment type. Require, docx. Const doc. New document, styles. Default, document, run, font, Arial, size, 24. Sections. Properties, Kager page, Kern margin, honor top 1440, right 1440, bottom 1440, left 1440. Iron children. New paragraph. Alignment, alignment type. Center, spacing. After 360. Children, new text, run, text, part 2, bold, true, size, 32. New paragraph, spacing. After 240. Children, new text, run. The reconnaissance drones launched from the Indomitable's belly like a swarm of metal insects. Captain Ji-Woo Park watched their feeds on the tactical display, and what she saw made her skin crawl. The Reaver infestation had consumed everything. Cities were buried under pulsing biomass that looked like infected flesh. Streets were filled with creatures that moved with terrible purpose, gathering biomaterial and carrying it back to massive hive structures. Writing new paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. Commander Tae-Young Cho stood beside her, his jaw tight. He had fought in some of humanity's worst battles, but even he looked disturbed by what the drones were showing them. While at new paragraph, Econ spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. There, he said, pointing at one screen. That bunker complex, the signal is coming from there. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40 lower, children, new text run. The bunker was deep underground, surrounded by Reaver growth. It looked like a small island of clean metal in a sea of corruption. Ji-Woo zoomed in the image. The bunker's defenses were still holding, but barely. The Reavers were testing the walls, probing for weaknesses. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40 lower, children, new text run. How many survivors? Admiral Kim asked. Use new paragraph, use spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. The transmission says approximately 2,000 Velens, Ji-Woo replied. They're led by Ambassador Thelvan. He says they have maybe 20 hours before the Reavers break through. Why new paragraph, why spacing. After 2:40, why children, new text run. The Admiral studied the tactical display for a long moment. Then he nodded to Commander Cho. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40, you were children. New text run. Take a company of Marines. Get those people out. You have 12 hours. After that, the Reavers will have adapted enough to make extraction impossible. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Understood, sir, Cho said. Rauta, new paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text run. 1 hour later, 3 dropships descended through the poisoned atmosphere. Lieutenant Bo-Ra Nam piloted the lead ship, her hands steady on the controls despite the turbulence. The Reavers had filled the air with spores that made the atmosphere thick and difficult to navigate. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 2:40. Children. New text run. Contact, her co-pilot shouted. Biological. Anti-air defenses, 3 o'clock. A new paragraph in spacing, hour after 2:40 or children your new text run, Nam saw them. The Reavers had grown massive organic cannons from the ground, living weapons that spat acid and bone fragments at aircraft. She threw her dropship into a hard turn, the G-forces pressing her into her seat. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 2:40 or children, new text run. All ships evasive pattern Delta, she ordered. Keep moving. Don't give them an easy target. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. The 3 dropships danced through the hostile fire. One took a glancing hit that melted part of its armor, but the pilot kept it flying. They broke through the defensive fire and landed on a clear patch of ground near the bunker. Give her new paragraph, we're spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. The ramp dropped. Master Sergeant Hyunwoo Kang was the first one out, his rifle up and ready. His Marines followed in perfect formation, spreading out to secure the landing zone. What they saw made several of them stop and stare. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. The landscape was alien. Buildings were covered in thick, pulsing growth that looked like muscle tissue. The ground beneath their feet was soft and wet, covered in some kind of organic membrane. In the distance, they could see massive structures that might have been Felon towers once but were now transformed into something that looked like organs in a giant body. About. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text run. Stay focused, Kang ordered. Eyes forward, weapons hot. Anything moves, you burn it. New paragraph. Spacing. After. Troisor children. New text run. Commander Cho checked his scanner. The bunker entrance was 200 meters ahead, through a street filled with Reaver drones. He could see them moving in the shadows, creatures built from Velen bodies and Reaver biomass, wearing the dead like horrible puppets. Crow. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Forward, he commanded. Ita. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text run. The Marines moved down the street. The Reavers attacked almost immediately. They came from everywhere, dropping from buildings, bursting out of the ground, charging from side streets. The Marines opened fire. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text run. Human weapons were loud and brutal. Plasma rifles burned through Reaver flesh. Flamethrowers turned the biomass into ash. Explosive rounds tore apart the drones in sprays of black ichor. The Marines fought with practiced efficiency, each covering the other, moving forward step by step. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text run. On the Indomitable's bridge, Coordinator Silreen watched the battle unfold on the tactical screens. She looked horrified. Dewey's. New paragraph. Ink spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. They're using weapons banned by council law, she said. Those incendiaries, those viral agents. Oh, new paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Would you prefer we send our people down there with harsh language? Captain Park asked coldly. Those weapons work. That's what matters. New paragraph. Yorn spacing. After 240. Children. new text run, but the Velen structures. New paragraph and spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. Are already contaminated beyond recovery. Park interrupted. Every building, every street, every piece of this colony is infected. We're not here to save real estate. We're here to save lives. New paragraph, spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. On the ground, the Marines reached the bunker entrance. Sergeant Kang planted charges on the sealed door while his men formed a defensive perimeter. The Reavers were regrouping, gathering for another assault. New paragraph, spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. Charges set, Kang reported. Everyone back. D. New paragraph, spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. The explosion was controlled and precise. The door blew inward. Commander Cho was through the opening before the smoke cleared, his weapon scanning for threats. Instead, he found terrified Velens, hundreds of them packed into the entrance chamber. By new paragraph, Tucker spacing. After 240. Children, new text. Run. Ambassador Thelvan pushed through the crowd. He was a tall Velen with gray fur and large, gentle eyes. Those eyes were filled with hope and terror in equal measure. New paragraph, spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. You came, Thelvan said. Thank the stars, you came. New paragraph. Facing. After 240, children, new text run war. We need to move fast, Cho said. How many people do you have here? Get a new paragraph, spacing. After 240. Children, new text run, 2017. Men, women, children, can you save them all? New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. Cho didn't answer. He was already scanning the crowd with a medical sensor. What he saw made his blood run cold. The sensor was showing red markers on several Velens. Red meant contamination. Red meant infected. Copper, new paragraph. Spacing. After 240 Dwarer, children, new text run. A shuttle landed outside and Dr. Hai-Jin Lee emerged with her medical team. She had insisted on coming down personally despite the danger. She took one look at Cho's face and knew something was wrong. Ko, new paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. Show me, she said quietly. Recur new paragraph in spacing. After 240. Children, new text run. Cho handed her the scanner. Lee's face went. Const F's pod require morphsu. Const document packer paragraph text run alignment type. Require docs. Const doc new document in styles. Default. Document. Run. Font. Arial. Size 24. Sections. Properties. Page. Margin. Top 14 and 40. Right 1440. Bottom 1440. Left 1440. Dar. Children. New paragraph. Alignment. Alignment type center. Spacing. After 360. Children. New text. Run. Text. Part 3. Bold true size 32 no. New paragraph document spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Dr. Hee-Jin Lee moved through the bunker with her portable scanner, checking each Velen one by one. The device beeped softly with each scan, showing green for clean or red for infected. Every time it showed red, Lee felt her heart break a little more. These were people, families, children, and she was marking them for death. New paragraph, ornking spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The Marines had set up a separation area using portable barriers. Clean Velens were moved to one side, infected to the other. The infected didn't know yet what was happening. They looked confused, asking questions in their musical language. Some of the clean Velens were crying, reaching for family members on the other side of the barrier. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Commander Tae-Yang Cho watched the process with a stone face. He had to be strong now. His people were looking to him for leadership. If he showed doubt, they would doubt. If he showed weakness, they would break. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text run. Ambassador Thelvan stood beside him, watching his people being divided. The Velen's hands were shaking. New paragraph, spacing, after 240, children, new text run. There must be another way, Thelvan said. A quarantine facility, a medical station, something. New paragraph, spacing, after 240, children, new text run. There isn't, Cho replied. I'm sorry. Gray, new paragraph, spacing, after 240, children, new text run. You're not sorry. You humans, you make these decisions so easily. Life and death, just numbers on a screen. New paragraph, spacing, after 240, children, new text run. Cho turned to look at him. His eyes were tired. You think this is easy? You think I want to do this? I have nightmares about every choice like this I've ever made. But I make them anyway because someone has to. Because if I don't, more people die. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, our new text run on the Indomitable's bridge. Coordinator Silreen was arguing with Admiral Kim. Her voice was rising, her usual calm breaking apart. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. This is murder, Silreen said. You are condemning 200 innocent people to death without even trying to save them. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. I am saving 1,800 people, Admiral Kim replied, and preventing a plague that could kill billions. That's not murder. That's triage. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The Council has quarantine facilities. We could key. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The nearest Council quarantine facility capable of containing a Reaver infection is 6 weeks away, Captain Jiwoo Park said. Dr. Lee estimates the infected have 3 days before the infection takes complete control. Do the math, Coordinator. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Silreen looked at the tactical display, at the planet below covered in Reaver growth. She wanted to argue more, but the logic was crushing. The humans were right. That made it worse somehow. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. What if you're wrong? Silreen asked quietly. What if there's a cure we haven't found yet? Quest new paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Admiral Kim walked to stand beside her. When he spoke, his voice was gentler than she had ever heard it. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Coordinator. Do you know why humans are in charge of containment operations? It is not because we're cruel. It's because we've faced extinction before. We know what happens when you hesitate, when you hope for a miracle that isn't coming. Humanity nearly died 3 times in our history because someone waited too long to make the hard choice. We learned. We survived. And now we use that knowledge to help others survive too. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. He turned to face her directly. I will give you a choice. You can formally object to our procedures. If you do, I will follow Council protocols. We will evacuate everyone, including the infected, to a Council facility. But if even one of those infected people breaks containment, the resulting plague will be your responsibility. Millions might die. Maybe billions. Or you can trust that humans know what we're doing. Great's new paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Silreen stood silent for a long time. Captain Park watched her, saw the war happening behind those large dark eyes. Finally, the Council observer looked down. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. I defer to human command, Silreen whispered. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. In the bunker, Dr. Lee finished her scans. The numbers were final. 1,817 clean. 200 infected. She transmitted the data to Commander Cho, then sat down on a crate, suddenly exhausted. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children. New text run. One of her medical assistants approached. Doctor, what do we do about the infected? New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text, run. Lee looked at the Velans on the other side of the barrier. Some were starting to understand what was happening. They looked scared. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text run. We give them a choice, she said. Duke. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text run. Commander Cho called Ambassador Thelvan over. The two of them approached the barrier together. Cho spoke through a translator device, his words turning into Velan language. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text run. You are infected with Reaver spores, Cho said. In 3 to 5 days, the infection will take control of your bodies. You will become part of the swarm. We cannot save you, but we can offer you a choice. New paragraph, spacing, after 240, children, new text run. The infected Velans listened in horror. Some began to cry. Others just stared in shock. New paragraph, spacing, after 240 or our children, new text run. We have medicine that will let you pass peacefully in your sleep, Dr. Lee said. No pain, no fear, just sleep. Or you can refuse and face what comes. That's your choice. We won't force you. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text, run. The silence was terrible. Then an older Velan stepped forward. His fur was white with age, his eyes sad but clear. Bree's new paragraph, respacing, after 240, children, new text, run. I will take the medicine, he said. I do not want to become one of those things outside. I want to die as myself. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text, run. Others began to nod. One by one they made their choice. Most chose the medicine. About 30 refused, either from fear or hope that somehow they might be saved. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text, run. The evacuation began. The clean Velans were loaded onto the dropships in groups of 50. Lieutenant Nam and her pilots made trip after trip, flying through the hostile sky to carry the survivors to safety. Each trip took 30 minutes. It would take hours to evacuate everyone. Gas, new paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text, run. Dr. Lee stayed with the infected. She prepared the sedative doses carefully, checking each one twice. This was medicine meant to help people live, and she was using it to help them die. The contradiction hurt. A new paragraph, new spacing, after, 240, children, new text, run. The first Velan who accepted the medicine was a young female. She had 2 small children who were clean, already evacuated. She sat down on a cot and held out her arm. Peace, new paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text, run. Will it hurt? She asked. I'm spacing, after, 240. Constefs require Fs. Most is document, packer, paragraph, text, run, alignment type. Pros require docs. Const docs under new document, AudioBook styles, default, document, run, font, Arial, size, 24. Sections, properties, page, margin, top, 1440, right 1440, bottom, 1440, left hand 1440, children, new paragraph, alignment, alignment type, dot, center, spacing, after 360, children, new text, run, text, part 4, bold, true, size, 32 number. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text run. The human fleet moved into bombardment formation around the dying planet. Captain Jiwoo Park watched the repositioning on her tactical display. 8 destroyers, 3 cruisers, and the Indomitable itself, all pointing their weapons at Velen Colony 7. What they were about to do would be visible from space. It would be visible in the history books. It would haunt them all. New paragraph, Crockroyd spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Admiral Han Sol Kim stood at the center of the bridge, his hands clasped behind his back. He had barely slept since the evacuation. None of them had. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Law. Children. New text run. All ships report ready for protocol extinction event. The tactical officer reported. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Coordinator Silrine stepped forward. Her face was pale, her hands trembling. New paragraph. Or spacing. After 240. Children. New text. Run. Admiral, I must formally protest this action, she said. What you are planning violates every council law regarding warfare. Destroying an entire world. New paragraph. Or spacing as after 240. Children. New text run. We're not at war with a nation, Admiral Kim interrupted. We're containing a plague. If you have a better solution, speak now. New paragraph. Charn spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Silrine opened her mouth, then closed it. She had no better solution. None of the council species did. That was why they had called humans in the first place. A new paragraph. Any spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Ambassador Thelvan stood at the back of the bridge. The Velen had asked permission to observe. When Silrine looked at him hoping for support, Thelvan just shook his head. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. That is not my world anymore, Thelvan said quietly. It is a tomb. Let them burn it. New paragraph. Or spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Admiral Kim nodded. Begin bombardment. Phase 1. Kinetic strikes. Cuck. Duck. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. The fleet opened fire. Massive tungsten rods were launched from orbit, accelerating to incredible speeds. Each rod was 6 meters long and weighed several tons. When they hit the planet, they hit like nuclear bombs. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. The first strikes targeted the largest Reaver hive structures. The impacts created massive explosions that could be seen from space. Shock waves spread across continents. Firestorms erupted where cities used to be. Warning. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. But the Reavers fought back. The hive intelligence realized it was under threat. Across the planet's surface, massive organic structures began launching spore pods into space. They were crude missiles, biological projectiles designed to reach the human ships. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text. Run. Contact. The defensive officer shouted. Multiple biological projectiles incoming. Point defense engaging. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. The fleet's laser batteries tracked the incoming pods, burning them out of space. Most exploded safely far from the ships, but there were hundreds of them, and the point defense couldn't get them all. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Impact on the Relentless. The tactical officer reported. Spore pod breached their hull section 4. New paragraph. Ryercar spacing. After 240. Children. New text run. Captain Park's blood went cold. The UNSC Relentless was a destroyer, part of their fleet. 300 crew members served on that ship. She opened a channel. Sue. New paragraph. Our spacing. After 240. Children. New text. Run. Relentless. This is indomitable. Report status. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. A man's voice came through, strained but calm. Commander Dae-Hyun-yi, captain of the Relentless. Park knew him. They had served together years ago. Tuck. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. We've initiated emergency containment protocols, Yi said. But the spores are spreading faster than we can seal sections. Current estimates give us 20 minutes before containment fails completely. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Can you evacuate your crew? Park asked. Pine. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Negative. The infected sections are between the crew and the escape pods. If we open the doors to evacuate, we spread the contamination. Captain, I am requesting permission to make a final approach. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Park understood immediately what he meant. I wanted to ram his infected ship into the planet at full speed. It was the only way to ensure the Reaver spores died with his crew. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. She looked at Admiral Kim. The Admiral's face was like stone, but his eyes showed pain. He had served with Yi, too. He had been at Yi's wedding. New paragraph. Spacing. After 240. Children. New text. Run. Permission granted, Commander, the Admiral said. His voice didn't shake. You have clearance for final approach. Target the largest hive complex. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Understood, sir. It has been an honor serving with you all, Yi said. Tell my family I held the line. Poise. New paragraph. Urang. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. The Relentless broke formation. Its engines burned at maximum power, accelerating the destroyer toward the planet. Every ship in the fleet watched in silence. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Lieutenant Bo-Ra Nam watched from her cockpit, tears running down her face. She had flown with pilots from the Relentless. Good people. Dead now. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. The Relentless hit the planet at a significant fraction of light speed. The explosion was brighter than the sun for a moment. The shockwave flattened Reaver structures across half a continent. Where the largest hive complex had been, there was now a crater 100 kilometers wide. Cow. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Admiral Kim stood silent for a moment. Then he spoke, his voice quiet but carrying across the bridge. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Note in the log. The UNSC Relentless and all hands gave their lives in defense of humanity and galactic security. They will be remembered. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Yes, sir, the communications officer said, his own voice thick with emotion. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. The bombardment continued. Phase 2 began. Plasma bombardment. The fleet's energy weapons fired continuously, superheating the planet's atmosphere. The air itself began to burn. New paragraph. Keying. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Dr. Hai-Jin Lee watched from the medical bay, monitoring the biological readings from orbit. The Reaver biomass was dying but slowly. The hive intelligence was adapting even now, creating heat-resistant spores. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. She opened a channel to the bridge. Admiral, the Reavers are adapting faster than expected. At current bombardment rates, some will survive. New paragraph. Spacing. After. 240. Children. New text. Run. Admiral Kim looked at Captain Park. She knew what he was thinking. There was only one weapon left that would guarantee complete eradication. There, new paragraph in spacing, after 240. Children, new text run, prepare cyclonic torpedoes, the Admiral ordered. New paragraph. SPA. Constef Sapika require after. Const ICE document packer paragraph text run alignment type. Require docs. Const doc wars new document. Styles. Default. Document. Run. Font. Arial. Size 24. Sections. Properties. Page. Margin. Top. 1440. Right. 1440 bottom. 1440. Left. 1440. Children. New paragraph. Alignment. Alignment type. Center. Spacing. After 360 all. Children. New text run. Text. Part 5. Bold true size 32 nuller. New paragraph year spacing. Cheers after 240 or. Children. New text run. The fleet was 3 days into its journey back to Council Space when Admiral Han Sol Kim called an emergency meeting. Only his most trusted officers attended. Captain Ji-Woo Park, Commander Tae-Yang Cho, and Dr. Hai-Jin Lee sat around the conference table. Coordinator Silreen and Ambassador Thelvan were there too. Everyone looked tired. New paragraph, spacing, after, 240, children, new text run. Dr. Lee activated the holographic display. Genetic data floated in the air, complex chains of DNA that meant nothing to most people. But Lee understood them, and what they meant was terrifying. New paragraph dawning spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. These are genetic markers from the Reaver samples we collected, Lee explained. They match bioweapon research from the Precursor War, specifically, research conducted by the Kryn. New paragraph dawning spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Silreen stood up abruptly. That's impossible. The Kryn destroyed all their precursor research. The treaty required it. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. They lied, Lee said simply. These markers don't lie. Someone in the Kryn government kept Reaver samples, and someone activated them on Velen Colony 7. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Ambassador Thelvan's hands were shaking. His people had died. His world had burned. And now he knew it wasn't an accident. It was murder. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. We must tell the council, Thelvan said. We must expose this crime. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text. Run. Admiral Kim looked at him with sympathy. Ambassador, I understand your anger. But if we go public with this information right now, whoever is responsible will hide the evidence. We'll never catch them. And they'll do this again. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Then what do you suggest? Thelvan demanded. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Before the Admiral could answer, the communication officer interrupted. Sir, we're receiving an encrypted transmission. Source unknown. It's addressed to you personally. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Admiral Kim frowned. Put it through. 2. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text, run. The holographic display changed. A message appeared, text only, no voice or video. Admiral Kim read it aloud. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Admiral Kim. The evidence you have is incomplete. The Kryn are involved, but they are not alone. Multiple council members knew about the Reaver research. They allowed it to continue. The attack on Velen Colony 7 was a field test. If you expose this publicly, those responsible will silence everyone who knows, including you. New paragraph, spacing, after, 2:40. Children, new text run. The message continued. Attached are files proving council involvement. Guard them carefully. Trust no one in the council hierarchy, except those you know personally. Good luck. New paragraph. Spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text, run. The transmission ended. Commander Cho immediately ran a trace, but the source was hidden behind layers of encryption. Whoever sent it knew what they were doing. New paragraph, spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run. Dr. Lee opened the attached files. Her face went pale as she read through them. Meeting logs, financial transactions, communications between high-ranking council officials. All of it proved that the Reaver research had been protected, funded, and encouraged by people at the highest levels of galactic government. New paragraph dawning spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run. This is a conspiracy, Sillarine whispered. Multiple species, multiple governments, all working together to preserve a weapon that could destroy civilizations. New paragraph dawning spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run, and Velen Colony 7 was their test site, Captain Park said. They wanted to see if Reavers could still be weaponized. Now they know. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Ambassador Thelvan slammed his fist on the table. We must expose them. My people deserve justice. Got a new paragraph. Spacing gars after 240. Children, new text run. Admiral Kim stood up and walked to the viewport. Outside, stars streamed past as the ship traveled through hyperspace. He stood there for a long moment thinking. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children, new text. Finally, he turned back to the group. Here's what we're going to do. We deliver the Velen survivors to council space as planned. We keep the evidence classified under human military intelligence. Dr. Lee, you will destroy the genetic samples we collected. Coordinator Silrine, you will receive a complete copy of all evidence. Share it with whoever you trust most in the council. New paragraph, spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run. That's it, Thelvan said. You're going to hide this? Byers, new paragraph, and spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run. Admiral Kim looked at him steadily. Ambassador, I know you want justice, but if we expose this now, the conspirators will destroy all evidence and kill everyone who knows about it. That includes you, me, everyone in this room. They'll make it look like an accident, and then they'll continue their research somewhere else. Is that the justice you want? Or scout new paragraph, your spacing, after 2:40. Children, new text run. Thelvan looked down. His anger was still there, but he was beginning to understand. The new paragraph out of spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. So we do nothing? The ambassador asked quietly. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. We do everything, Admiral Kim corrected. But we do it smart. We investigate quietly. We gather more evidence. We identify everyone involved. And when we have enough proof that they can't hide from, we bring them all down at once. That's the difference between vengeance and justice. New paragraph from Barn spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Commander Cho nodded. It could take months, maybe years, Dar. New paragraph, spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. Then it takes years, the Admiral said. I'd rather wait and get them all than move fast and let some escape. New paragraph dawning spacing, after 240. Children, new text run. The fleet arrived at Council space 2 days later. The Velen survivors were transferred to Council care. Medical teams checked them thoroughly. Counselors were assigned to help them process their trauma. They were safe now, but they would carry the scars forever. New paragraph Donian spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. Ambassador Thelvan stood at the docking port watching his people leave the human ship. He should have been going with them, but he turned to Admiral Kim instead. New paragraph, respacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. I want to stay with your fleet, Thelvan said. I cannot go back to Council space and pretend everything is normal. I know too much, and I want to help you find who did this. New paragraph. Spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text. Run. Admiral Kim studied the vellum for a moment. Then he held out his hand. Thelvan took it. Dacus. New paragraph, spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. Welcome to the 3rd Deathworlder Fleet, Ambassador, Kim said. You're going to see things that will horrify you, but you'll also see what humans are really like. We're not monsters. We're survivors, and we protect those who can't protect themselves. New paragraph Donian spacing. After 2:40. Children. New text run. Coordinator Silrine prepared to return to Council space. She carried the evidence carefully hidden in encrypted files. She knew what she had to do. Find the right people. People who still believed in justice. People who would help expose this conspiracy. These new paragraphs shower spacing. After 2:40.